I guess the first thing is the elephant in the room. Yes, at the airport, the referee, Taylor, was harassed. There were chairs thrown at him in front of his wife and daughter, and it was above and beyond what's appropriate. I don't want to see it really celebrated on social media. I don't think it's a good look for the club. It's not good as far as UEFA is going to deem how they're going to see this when it comes time to look at the footage and assess probably penalties to Roma for their fans or whatever other nonsense is going to be thrown at Roma's way because of this. But it's not a great look. Did Taylor, let's just say that there was going to be a response. I'm not saying chairs are going to be thrown, but there was going to be some type of response after the tragedy that was Roma Sevilla and the officiating. It's going to play out like this. I mean that's this is too much, too far at this point. But thanks for joining me today. I know we jumped around on the times a little bit. Just got my baby in for her nap. She's laying down, hopefully for the next 30 minutes at least. And we're here to talk about the Mourinho press conference, what things will look like going forward for Roma, a little bit, touch upon some other things, some other themes. Write in your comments and your questions. Write in however you're feeling right now. And glad to see that. Glad to see that very much so. So thank you. I got a bunch of comments. I'm just going to go through them before we hit the sauce. Ragav is here since I know that the referee against Mourinho from the Premier League. When I saw him, my first reaction was, oh no, ref played it tactically, booking Matic on his first foul, and then Cristante taking the bite out of the midfield. Yeah, when you put it that way, took the bite out of the midfield with a bunch of quick yellow cards, and Roma were really limited in what they could do. The fact that there were so many quick yellow cards in the Giallo e Rosso way, but not for Sevilla, was really strange. It almost seemed like I started to get that feeling like almost a bias. Was he biased or not? It is not for me to say. It's not, I'm not going to come out here and say, it's he was this or, I don't want to think the worst of what's going on with this, but it really was frustrating, and I started to get that feeling like this was being unfair. Like there were so many things unaccounted for. First off, Lamela should not have taken that penalty kick. Why? Because she should have gotten a red card. There's countless other things to analyze in this match. And now we see on social media, if you just look quickly for, let's see if I can take your screen through this. I'm not using my regular computer. I had to go outside real quick. Step away from the Mourinho press conference for a second. I'm actually going to go up to Roma things, and he was talking about it. He just put it out. He put out a picture of it. I don't think I can show that. I think I might get banned. Here we go. We got a picture here. So the fact that he stretches out. Read what Roma Thing says here. Astonishing how a glaring error like this could happen in the VAR era. Introduced specifically for moments like this one. The ref inexplicable refusal to review the incident only serves to reinforce the perception of a bias. Mind-boggling. Yeah, mind-boggling indeed. When you look, hopefully this is zooming in for you, take a look at that. Does that look normal for you by any means? When the player goes and puts his arm to the side and reaches out, that I'm almost at a loss for words. The fact that this isn't looked at is so strange to me. By the way, I hope the audio is okay right now. I've got AirPods in, just got these on eBay, but I'm also a little bit far away from my router right now, so the connection might be a little funny. But nevertheless, you don't need a super powerful router to show this picture right here. Anyway, there's a couple other things too. Why does he not even look at this? But when it comes for Ibanez, he simply just blows the whistle and points to the spot, and it's almost like, oh, no brainer. But when it comes time to this, it's not even a look. And Derossi Tatu, this account also put something out before, which I think I just read one of his tweets that came out just before. To get a better understanding of the rationale behind Taylor's perplexing decision here, accountability is crucial for the fairness of the game. One way to achieve this was to be release the voice recording of Taylor and his VAR officials. Let the public decide, and I think that's a great point. In this era, why don't we have access to that? Why is this not completely public? Because I believe that it completely should be. I can't imagine in 2023 why there's any excuse not to have this. So I'm going to look at a little bit more of the comments before. I do want to get to the press conference sooner than later because there's a lot to unpack there with Mourinho's future. But before that, too, I mean, check out this wonderful tifo. Uh, the guys at Roma Club, I've been saying it on social media, whatever. So the way that this happened is this is over 9 meters long. You're talking like something that's 36, 37 feet long and over 20 feet high. I actually went on top of the roof here, which was in retrospect a bit too dangerous. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because yeah, for a number of reasons. But then we put the zip ties in between the little posts there and tied it to the scaffolding here. Luckily, there was the scaffolding, which made this possible. But look at how tremendous this is, guys. How beautiful, the detail, the definition, the pixels on this tifo. I incorrectly, and I looked at it, I was like, oh, the striscione. This is not a striscione, not a banner, but a tifo, something that would go in like front of the entire Curva Sud. Absolutely bonkers. Totally raises the level of fan clubs I mean, I want to say the United States, but really around the world. Back to that. Flicking mosquitoes off of me. Let's scroll down to the presser. Very sad picture there with Pellegrini being controlled by the fans, by the ultras. So that made the trip over. Mourinho gave his shirt to a little kid. That was also an excellent little snippet that came from this. Look at that face, man. Even my buddy, the other side of the coin, Chelsea man, says, I feel sad for you guys. You know, you guys deserved it. I do feel this is the end of Jose. He would have stayed if you guys made Champions League. So let's see what happens now and how Jose is feeling about this. By the way, he took that silver medal, threw it into the tribuna, into the crowd. That's just a heartbreaking picture of Paulo there. Heart-wrenching, man. I really felt for him. Immediately after this, I was lost for words. I couldn't speak until a little bit later, until we went live. And sorry if I keep looking down. I'm not making good eye contact today. It's because I'm looking down at the computer I have. So let's jump into it. I'm not gonna go through the TV one to Roma TV or to maybe to DAZN. But let's first hit the official press conference because there's a lot there, and then we will get to comments and keep putting in comments and likes and all types of love. So yeah, I really appreciate that. We got Paul in here, we got Kier. By the way, guys, if you want to jump into our WhatsApp group, we have some nice, healthy discussions. It's actually a pretty solid atmosphere. Everyone's cool, and yeah, it's been great. So let's look at that presser now. Are you staying in Rome or not? That's the big question. Is Mourinho stay? I'm going to say, first off, I feel that he does conditionally, and let's read why. He says, we immediately understand what we have inside of us. I talk about the little things. Pellegrini fell down in the area, yellow card. Ocampos made a scandalous play in the area, awarded a penalty. Why? Because he wanted to give it. The VAR calls him and removes him too because he was too ashamed. Lamela then took the penalty but did not get the second yellow card. Why? Let's not talk about the big decisions. You can lose games, but never dignity. The boys and I lost a game, but not dignity. On the contrary, I won 5 finals and have never gone home more proud than today. Happier, yes, but never more proud. We did everything right. I have important words for my people too. We also worked a lot on penalties and then we missed them all. I said that whoever takes penalties doesn't take them alone. Taylor and the VAR then were afraid that something would happen in the end and made sure it was all over soon. Congrats to Sevilla who won. Congratulations to my boys. And I think the boys have to go home with peace of mind and pride in what they've done. As I told them from Madrid, from Tirana, from Stockholm, from Gelsenkirchen, these are my boys from Budapest. I go on vacation on Monday. I want to stay, but my players deserve more. He's saying in terms of staying, like he wants to stay with Roma like next year. This is where he breaks it down. He says, I want to fight for more. I'm a little tired of being a coach, a man of communication, of being the face that says we've been robbed. I'm a little tired of being so much, but I want to stay with the conditions to give more. He's talking about players. He's also talking about probably getting someone who takes the pressure off of the guy who takes the pressure off of the players. There needs to be like a press officer or somebody, maybe this guy, who could talk to the press. Somebody preferably who understands English as well as Italian because of the international aspect of this game at this point and understanding the intricacies of both languages. Now, not everything directly translates. He concludes this question. Next season, we won't play in the Champions League, and that's good news. It may seem paradoxical, maybe he means like ironic here, but it's good news because we're not a Champions League team yet. We have to win on Sunday to play in the Europa League, and we want to return to European competitions. And as Taylor is a great ref, let's only hope we only make the Champions League, that he just make a mess today in the Champions League and not in the Europa League. So Europa League, still got to win on Spetsia. Those are the conditions. Still got to beat Spetsia to get back into the Europa League. It's not over yet. Feels like the season's over, yet there's still a game on Sunday. Back to Dybala's tears, Mourinho says, I don't hide it. I've only done this for the last 2 to 3 days about Dybala's injury because he was really playing badly injured. Palomino made a bad play. Then when you see Dybala play today, you understand that with him, our results would have been different in the last 2 months. He cried. There are a lot of different ways of reacting. I usually cry when I win and not when I lose. There are different ways of reacting. The boys are spent physically because they gave everything. Today they played 150 minutes in the first half, 7 minutes of added time. Added time's reminiscent of the World Cup. But seeing them sad, it's good because it means that they feel it on the inside. I always say the day I don't feel defeated, I will go home. And today I assure you that it makes me suffer a lot. Next year the party continues. Will Dybala be there? I don't know. You have to ask him. He's not tied to me. He is a Roma player and not Mourinho's. It's true. Maybe he's had discussions, I would hope to think, but that will be a decision or an issue, let's call it an issue if Dybala stays or not, to be handled in the future and surely not within the next few days. And that's me speaking, not Mourinho. To think we won't see you again in Trigoria on Monday, where does this dissatisfaction come from? He says, I think there are more chances that after Monday you will see me. I'm leaving on Monday, but my things remain in Trigoria. You know that I have left my home, which is in Aquilani, neighborhood in Rome, but I have all my things in Trigoria. I go on vacation, but I will definitely come back. It's time you talk to the ownership or for the ownership to talk to me. And then let's handle the ones from Sky, too. There's just a couple. The reporter says there are moments of disappointment, but nothing can be said for the group. Like he's saying, like, you can't say enough for them. There's no, you can't really give them too much slack, can't be criticized. Says, that's what I said. We go out without the cup, we're dead, and we're dead physically and mentally. And also because we think it is an unfair result. The cup does not come, and we end dead tired and proud. I always say that we can lose a game, but not our dignity and professionalism. I've won 5 and lost this one, but I go home proud. The boys gave it their all. Says we're attached to this shirt, speaking on Dybala, and to our nature. We take things seriously and humbly. We work hard and give everything we have. Everyone reacts differently. One cries and the other doesn't, but we are all very sad. We go home dead from exhaustion and because we feel it's unfair. Great game and great final. The referee seemed Spanish. We gave everything. They all warned us. Lamela had to get the second yellow card, and then instead he was a penalty taker. The audience applauded. They want to know your future. He said, I go on vacation Monday if we have time to talk until Monday. Otherwise, we'll see about it later. I have to fight for these guys, and that also means not telling you I'm staying. Will you talk to the ownership about planning for the future? He says, I spoke to them, it should say them, months ago and told them that if I had contact with another club, they'd be the first to know. I would not have done anything secretly. In December, I spoke to them for the Portuguese national team talk, but since then, I haven't had anything else. Right now, I have another year on my contract, and this is the situation. We got 2 more, right? You got time? I got a little bit of time, I think. He says, I told the lads after the game, I've won 5 European finals before this one. I'm not going home tonight any less proud of the times. Mosquito. Almost got me. Bloodsuckers. Where were we? I've lifted the cup. I'm proud of this team. The lads and I are dead tired physically and mentally. It was a very tough final. We played 150 minutes. The recovery was crazy. We're unfortunately used to the influence of the refs in our matches. It's not a new thing for us. Certainly, I never would have expected that in the final of a UEFA competition. That's how I felt. On Taylor, just look at Ibanez's mouth, and you understand everything. Just look at Lamela, who took a penalty. Just see that the team that played better in the first half received 3 yellow cards. Pellegrini falls to the ground and gets a yellow card. Or Ocampo simulates a penalty that VAR denies and you don't give him a yellow card. A referee who makes these mistakes is incredible. Also because Taylor is a good ref. So he's like, how could a guy who's had a good reputation, who's had a good run of matches throughout his career, make these simple mistakes? And that's the big question, is it not, guys? Infuriating. Are there any conditions for staying in Rome? Says until Monday. Do you want to start over? He says, I want to go home. To play on Sunday, unfortunately, I won't be able to be at the stadium. I have a record of sanctions in Italy, which seems to be criminal. I need a holiday. I'm tired. Man. And there you see him with the boys at the end of the match after keeping the group together. It's, as a fan, it's really disheartening, guys, I think, to handle this and to accept. That's the word I'm looking for. To truly accept this and to say this is how it went. These calls were made and the ones were not made. And a player stuck his hand out in the 75th minute in a deadlocked game in a European final, and the referee didn't even care to look at it. And I can you take out the human aspect totally? The Mourinho factor, the fact that this guy went into England, became so envied because he did immediately what no other English manager had done. And that persona, that stereotype still follows him of this being like this problem coach. Could that have played into it? I don't think you can discount that it's a possibility. And it's infuriating because of everything listed. Ocampos simulates, doesn't get a yellow. Pellegrini falls, gets a yellow. The penalty, which I'll keep saying, unbelievable. I'm a fan of Roma, of Italian football. And when you disrespect my favorite club and the boys that I support week in and week out, and this is the injustice that happens, yeah, it gets to me. And it gets to you. And I know that. And I know that you feel that. And you're as upset as I am. And for yesterday, as I'm waiting for it, and today I wake up and it's like living in a bad dream, and that's what makes this so hard. That's what really is getting to me as we talk more about this. It was a penalty 100%. Guys, keep the comments coming in. Why do you think Jose decided to have Mancini and Ibanez take 2 of the 3 penalties in this shootout? Great question, Anthony. Because let's put this into the frame of the match. 150 minutes passes. Mourinho looks around, and this is what he must have said. Guys, who feels confident? Who has the guts to take a penalty? Who steps up? One of the leaders on the pitch in Mancini, and another who was technically good for the whole game, which was Ibanez. Seems strange, right? Why would center backs take 2 of the 3 first penalties? And this is why, because there must have been their decision to take that. There's no other plausible scenario, right? Because instead of having assigned players, so many of the players you would expect to have taken penalties were out. And I have to imagine El Shaarawy would have been number 4 or 5. So I think that's why, because they would have said, I'll take it, coach. Because they stepped up, because they got guts, because they got you-know-what. Okay. Why were his arms extended? I don't know. Penalties should be taken by forwards. So this is, Germanicus, this is what I think happened. Looked like a penalty. Because they played the whole, exactly. They played the whole match, and the subs in a penalty shootout are often too nervous. That's true. You don't want to take a penalty when you're cold. Why? Because your hips are not open. Your muscles aren't warm. They're not hot. So you don't have that flow. Your blood's not flowing, most of all. You don't have any adrenaline, yet you're going against a hot goalie. And it's very tough taking it when you're exhausted, but also when you're cold. Inside the box, hands out. They should follow cricket style third ump review. I don't know about that. I'm just saying I don't know cricket, but that's an interesting take there, Vijay. To be fair, Ibanez could have been recalled for penalty as well. NFL can't hold the candle to Calcio. Yeah, Francisco is there. Check out Francisco's work. If you need a graphic designer, we're going to have Francisco on. We're going to take a look at his Roma designs. He's made a bunch for me over the years, including the wolf that I use here and there for social media, for thumbnails and stuff. So reach out to Francisco if you need, and he'll do some graphic design work for you for sure. Banner of me. Yeah, it is Germanicus, isn't it? You're going to have to contact Roma Club New York to get that image, man. Or to get like a, maybe like a 6x9 flag of that and put that in your room. It's pretty sick. It is Germanicus. A day later, I'm encouraged by the fact that I believe they'll be back. I keep doing this to my ears because these things keep like moving out. I don't know. I'm not hip like the kids today. I'm not like the teenagers just walk around. They're like, oh, my AirPods. These things are uncomfortable. Based off what Jose said in the huddle on the pitch, it sounded like he was planning on coming back. I hope so. I really do hope so. Let's talk about that as soon as we wrap up comments in this round. Roma was not holding anything back, nothing held back. You can see our lack of depth. Yeah, and speaking of, Mourinho called it before the match. He said Sevilla had 25 players who are worthy of starting, and it's true. You bring on Lamela, Suso was incredible. Somebody else came on, somebody big. Oh, Papu Gomez comes on, who was in the past 10 years one of the best attackers in Serie A. He's a bench player for them. It's unbelievable. Inciting a riot ain't fun. Mourinho shouldn't be indicted. I don't know what you mean by that, indicted. Why would Mourinho be indicted? What does he have to do with that? Inciting a riot. I don't agree with you there. We have a great defense. Nobody can match us there. And come on, guys, hit the like. Yeah. Do it now. Thank you. Yeah, there we go, Germanicus. Kaze's in the house. Says Mourinho didn't incite a riot. He's done this numerous times, and no fan has ever done this before. This is solely due to the referee being really poor in the European final. That's the only cause. I just hope Pinto is able to get some quality signings for the keeper and striker position, Pirates Rock says. I will always applaud Tammy Abraham and Rui Patricio for their quality contributions for the conference win. Thank you, Paul, my man. Just talking about Bloomfield, by the way. Apparently, I have a cousin-in-law who has one of their significant others lives out by you. But this season really shows the club needs to find a new keeper. So let's handle two things here. Replenishing the team, free agency. But first, Mourinho. Is Mourinho going to stay? It's going to depend on what he says here. Exactly what he's saying, right? I'm going to stay, but I'm tired of being that guy. I am tired. Wait, okay, there we go. I'm tired of being the face, but also the manager, and also the guy to handle the media, and also having to compete with a thin squad. If he stays, it's because Pinto goes out and gets a bunch of players and gets the work done. How do you do that when you're in the red? You got to satisfy financial fair play, and you got to stay competitive. These are big questions. We got to think about this as a group. If I'm Pinto, I make some tough decisions this summer. First off, I look at the ages of players and ones who still hold equity, ones who are still have a year, 2 or 3 years left of their contract, and they're getting a little bit older. I'm not going to name names because I hold a relationship with the club and their social media. I still do things for them. It's not right for me to say this player should be out. This player is not going to cut it. He should be cut to trim the fat. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I think that a way forward is a policy of realizing who has equity, who's underperforming, and who's older, and then having a hard look in the mirror and making decisions based off of that. And you can just look at the player board and start to see like, okay, this might not fit. Why? Because Roma has a great chance with this foundation, with players like Mancini out there, with Zalewski, with probably even Rick Karsdorp or Salik, one of the two, or maybe even both, with Pellegrini, with Cristante, with Bove. Great. This is a great core. It's a mix of youth and it's a mix of experience. You've got your captain in his prime, his counterpoint, his buddy Cristante behind him, and a Primavera guy, a kid, who is now one of the hottest commodities in Italian football. That's great. The midfield, build from there, right? Up top, not good enough statistically. Not good enough. Not enough goals to get into the top 4. Left wing, a player like El Shaarawy is a great squad guy when your starters are exhausted or it's the 60th minute and you need a little bit of something. El Shaarawy is your guy. On the right wing, Dybala, you keep Dybala. And from here, from this core, you start to grow. Maybe you sign someone as a keeper like Vicario from Empoli. He's got good hands. Maybe you sign on a player who really wants the ball to take over when Dybala's out, like Baldanzi from Empoli. Maybe you look at Parisi from Empoli. Bro, I'm on a little Empoli kick right now. I'm sorry. But you look at these guys. Perhaps Bobby Firmino is able to be signed. What are his ambitions? Does he want to play in the Champions League? Does he Could he buy into a Mourinho project for at least a year or two? Maybe. Maybe if Pinto can convince him, if you have these big conversations, say, this is our goal, this is why we need you, and this is why we're going to treat you like a star. A lot of it is the human aspect. Keep mentioning this, the emotional component of this, and how you treat players, how you approach them, what you are giving back to them. Say, no, 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 I got a solid team here. We're not in the Champions League. That's okay, but our objective is this. Our objective is top four. Our objective is winning the Champions League. And you're going to be the guy now at age 30, 31, 32, who's at the center of it. You're not going to be rotation. You're going to be the guy we count on every single match, and the Roma fans are going to love you. And that's the conversation you have with Firmino. That's how you get it done. Hey, Bobby, you see what we did with Dybala? We're going to do something just like that for you. You're going to be a co-emperor of Rome. Whichever number besides 10 that you want. We're going to make you feel really special, baby. That's how you do it, guys. I'm starting to feel like Wolf of Wall Street when he steps on the pedestal. I gotta chill out here. Oh, SB's in here. Here we go. I'm looking at some more comments. Okay, we're on about 5-10 more minutes, guys. We're 27 minutes in. Thank you for joining me. Throw a comment, throw a subscription on there if we got new people coming in as well. And thank you for joining me today. I know this was a little impromptu. This season really shows we need to find a new keeper and striker. And it's funny because that's what we just talked about, right? Vicario and Firmino. And there's other players. I'm not saying like just those guys. There's players you like. There's players that Pinto has probably profiled. Interesting guys out there. SB, so when we started this episode, yeah, we were talking about that. I mean, say that this shouldn't be celebrated on social media. There shouldn't have been anything thrown at the ref. There shouldn't be a violent component on it. If you want to see him at the airport and boo him, say, oh, coglione, and things like that, yeah, I get that. But don't take that to the next level. We'll be looking for blood. Preghiamo. We pray, Vijay. Yeah, I'm also disappointed. Terra was a poor ref, but the fans shouldn't do that. Indica and Aouar. Indica suits a need for sure, center back depth, and Aouar is that guy on the half spaces who will transition from midfield to attack. Watch out for Aouar. I think this could be a good player here. Remember, Sevilla didn't score. We did twice. Sevilla didn't even have a good shot on goal. They didn't even have one big scoring opportunity. Roma was so good last night with their low block. Did they have a lot of the ball? Did they win a lot of the ball in the middle of the pitch? Yeah. But I think that the issue was that they actually did play pretty good in preventing Roma from 1-2s in the middle of the pitch and getting up the field. That was a little bit problematic, but they did convert their chance. I know. I don't want to go on a full tear here, but frustrating. 0 big chances for Sevilla. I'll keep reminding us that. Yes, feelings. What about referee cost the club 80 million, qualification, and the medal? Not all the fans are going to come. Some folks are going to fight back. It's true that there was going to be a response. Do not give out number 10. No, but I think that I would give it to Dybala. I'm giving Dybala the number 10. I'm signing him to 2 to 3 years. In my head, you're the face of this club. Number 10, Paulo Dybala. Let me know what you think about that. That's what I believe in it, and I believe in him. The kid was crying. He walked off the pitch crying. You know what that meant to him? Everything. He wanted that more than anything. Whereas Gini Wijnaldum looked like, he was like, the final, darn. But Dybala, in his heart, man, that's why that player gets the number 10. What some fans said to the refs, inexcusable, yes. Yeah. It's true. Our derby at one time was called the most dangerous in the world. Yeah, remember like 10 years ago, especially when the Tottenham fans came? That's a whole thing. That's a whole road to go down to with Obra's violence. When, Roma isn't capable of competing in the Champions League yet. Yes, that quote. They're not. They would be way too stretched. It would exhaust them. I think that they could have been with the money that they would have gotten. They could have gotten Fratesi. They could have definitely persuaded bigger profiles. He knows its value, here says Dybala wouldn't take 10. Maybe not. Maybe yes. I'd give it to him though. That would definitely be a kit that I would grab immediately. Dybala, number 10 on a fresh Adidas kit. How sexy would that be, guys? Let's look one more time. I'm going to pull up. I think I'm going to share the screen real quick if there's anything I forgot on my Twitter. Ioannis says, hey, Wayne, I get the sense that Mourinho wants to stay, but it's pressuring the board. Yeah. What do you think would make him happy? Yeah, so we mentioned like a player like Vicario, some depth. Awad and Dika comes in, maybe Firmino, guys like that, guys who can be difference makers. At least impressed by Bove. Him, Mancini, Cristante, Pellegrini are building a good foundation. Yeah, that's exactly who I mentioned before. Those guys. That's it right there. Pinto rightfully blasting the referee's decision. The penalty not awarded for Fernando's handball is there for all to see, but our freshness does not arise from solely from that single episode. Yeah, Ali checks in. What's up, my man? Yes, does not arrive simply from that single episode. Not not the slightest. I hope so, brother Paul. I hope so. I think we got to have those discussions soon. Spine of this team is there, and I think that Youssef, that's something we really agree on. Is the one thing that makes Roma fans a little bit of consolation is that the spine is there, and with some wheeling and dealing, Pinto can arrange things this summer to really do something special. I think last summer he was still having to get rid of players who didn't hold value, like Under and Veretout and Olsen, players who've been sticking around forever. Even Paulo Lopez was still on the books. Marseille, thank God, Marseille comes to our rescue time and time again to take these guys. So maybe this year could be more of you sell off probably a couple players who have some value, and then you reinvest and you get some good free transfers in here to satisfy the budget and becoming more competitive. This Inter Milan that's going to play in the Champions League final was composed of Barella, and largely the rest of those guys were free transfers. Barella came several years ago when they still had some money to spend, but the majority of that team is built on free transfers. It can be done. You got to be good at what you do, and I think Pinto is. I think he can be. Pedro. All right, we'll get me started, Paul. Okay, I'm gonna share one more time before we wrap things up. I see a bunch of people in here too. Just remember, show some love on the channel, help this thing grow. We're over 850 subscriptions at this point, which is excellent. Thank you to you guys. Another good account to follow here is Mourinho Pics. He does a bunch of stuff. Wow, he's got a lot of followers. Yeah, high quality pictures, videos. But Jay is also a knowledgeable football fan, so he's doing a really good job. Day after the end, you and your family left. Isn't that the truth? Look at the huddle. Look at them come together. Il giorno dopo, l'unica cosa è la famiglia. La famiglia. Veramente. I guess, by the way, I can't show the video because I don't want to get a copyright infringement, but there's that video of Mourinho going up to the ref after the match, too, in the tunnels under the stadium. And we'll be back. Hopefully, he'll be back. I don't know I guess I can show this, right? It's my content off of Twitter. So that's me talking, just saying, like, thank you to the club. Maybe I can show this here in like a double screen as soon as I
international Roma fans, whatever. New York. This.
Yeah.
I got out of my car.
Check that out. It's Germanicus in the flesh.
And I got back just to show you that.
It's literally him. Excellent. So let's get out of that. All right. Oh man, that's our note. I think that's our final note, aside from comments. So let's get some final comments in here, guys, and then I'll let you go back to your dinner for the rest of your life tonight. Maybe a new striker, a new keeper, maybe a left back. That's how I see it. I would like to see Parisi come in. I do like Vicario. There's other names to that, though, too. Vicario's not the one and only. He's just the one that's gotten mentioned a lot in the press. Striker, my guy, is Firmino, like the false nine. But there's other opportunities out there, like Scamacca, who I think is a big, strong, good Serie A striker. Wouldn't mind seeing Berardi come in, but he's not much of a center forward, is he? I guess he's more of a right wing, but it's time for him to get the heck out of Sassuolo already. How are they convincing him to stay? It's kind of crazy. Can't believe my allergies are killing me out here, so I keep rubbing my nose. I came here with Moo, but man, it's experiences like this that make you truly feel part of the club. Daya Roma forever. Excellent to hear, Youssef. Stick around with this club. Hopefully, Mourinho is your first, but let Roma be your second here. Pirates. Where's Pirates Rock from? I wonder. He's a new guy. Introduce yourself, Pirates Rock. See you at the Europa League final next season. Yeah, that's the attitude. That's the attitude. Inshallah. Yeah, we're hoping. we move on. This is the Roma way. Spezia is next. That's an interesting offseason that will be from quite plenty to discuss for all your friends. Yeah, it's a great community, is it not? Yeah, and if anyone wants that WhatsApp link, I'll post it in the comments. Just let me know. I'm dying out here. I'm like sitting in a field of pollen. Um, oh, by the way, I guess I got something to show you. Let me show you what I planted. I got my little bush up there. I get low light, and up there is I got my basil plant, my oregano. I just made a delicious pasta fazool for dinner, which came out excellent. I don't want to make you hungry, but it was pretty slamming. Some nice, fresh, spicy, and fennel sausage. It was good, man. I'm not gonna lie. Some peppers in there, some zucchini, little d'Italia pasta, and some nice cannellini beans. It was delish. And of course the fresh basil and the fresh oregano I just chopped up real quick, threw that in there, simmered real nice. Malaysia, nice. Yo, I keep saying like Roma, in terms of international audience, has to realize what Malaysia and Indonesian fans bring to this club. Good morning from Sydney. Oh, we got Australia in here. What's up, I bet? It's the one place I really want to visit, man. I want to go out to Australia real bad one day. I want to like cruise through the outback. Maybe I am afraid of sharks though. I have like a weird, really deep fear. What do you call it? Like a phobia of sharks. Even though I snorkel like in Jersey, and go swimming all the time. The rest of the world goes to psychiatrists. They say that the issue is due to your mom or dad. English man goes to psychiatrist. They say, Jose, mom or dad is root cause for your problems. Yeah. We're definitely, I think that's coming soon. Let me figure out how to set that up. We'll definitely do a couple recipes, maybe in shorts, maybe some live streams while we're talking Roma. Funny enough, during COVID, I first had this idea and I made like the worst videos ever of trying to cook and talk about Serie A at the same time. What's up, Johannes? What's up? Good morning from New Zealand. No way. We got New Zealand out here too. We got the whole Commonwealth. Jeez. Pecorino Romano and herbs on eggs for breakfast is good. There you go. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Pecorino Romano. That's where it's at. I used a little Parmigiano with the shredder to put in there too while it was still really hot. It just melted. Oh, and yeah, on eggs for breakfast. That's that good stuff. New Zealand. Gotta get out there too. I gotta stay at the Shire. Gotta stay at the Hobbitville. I wonder if they still have it. I think they do. Excellent, Paul. Take you up on some ice cream. So this is it, man. We got to live with this now. We got to use this as a positive. We got to remember this. The players got to feel this going into next season. The core will be here. They're not going anywhere, especially because Mancini's on a pretty big contract. But aside from that, the core is here to stay. They'll use this anger inside them. They'll use this experience to learn from, and pray to God that the next time Roma get to a final, they get a ref that sees it 50-50. At the very least, guys. We'll talk soon. Anything else that we wanna cover? Like I said, Roma Club, all the Roma clubs around North America were fantastic. Just Roma Club New York was a different breed. Really set the bar and changed the tone for what it means to be a fan club. And I'm gonna put a video out sometime this week, within the next 5 days. I've got a lot of video, so it's gonna take some editing, but I'm gonna put out what I hope is going to be a pretty cool video about the day in the life of the final at RCNY. Roma versus Spezia. Does Spezia have even anything to fight for? I hope not. I hope they just kind of Mbaya and Zola keep them away from net. I think Verdi is also there too. Daniele Verdi. I like this comment. Nice one, Germanicus. Ciao a tutti. That's a good one. I think we'll leave on that Germanicus note. I mean, the guy's got his own tifo now. Germanicus, you got to get in touch with those guys so you can get your self-portrait printed on like a blanket or something when you go to the beach. All right, guys. We'll talk soon. Ciao.